Hello folks, my name is Ray Samuels. I'm the co-founder of the highly acclaimed program, How to Win in Challenging Times with Grow, a framework for personal and professional growth. First of all, I want to thank all of you for your great participation and the comments that you shared in the last video. In the last video, I discussed positive psychology and the effect that it has had on my life. It's the fastest growing area in the field of psychology. Positive psychology is a scientific study of what makes life worth living, or how do people flourish. It's about finding ways to increase our well-being. Traditional psychology takes a look at what's wrong with people, but positive psychology looks at what's right with us. Or in other words, not what is wrong, but what makes us strong. In the last video, I talked about mindsets, fixed mindset and growth mindset, which are beliefs about our abilities. I discussed the importance of having a growth mindset as a precursor to positive change. Growth mindset is a simple yet groundbreaking idea from the field of positive psychology. I also talked about the GROW framework, a simple but powerful framework that I developed based on positive psychology, my own personal experience of adversity and growth, and discussions with others who have been through their own challenging times. Here is a review of the GROW framework. Gratitude. It's an emotion expressing appreciation for what we have. Resilience. It is the recovery from setbacks, the quality of bouncing forward, and the ability to cope with ongoing changes in life. Optimism is looking at challenges, failures, and setbacks in ways that can increase our hope, persistence, and well-being. Willpower allows us to resist temptation, make good choices, and use self-control to achieve our goals. I believe that positive life change is possible, and through the GROW framework, I realized my strengths during times of adversity. As a result of developing and applying the GROW framework, I believe that you will become more confident in your abilities to accept that you can grow through your own challenges, whether they're personal or professional, or as a teacher, parent, coach, student, business owner, or simply as a person who is struggling and wants to live fully and positively affect those around us. In this video, we're going to examine some tools, techniques, habits, and doable actions that are part of the GROW framework that you can incorporate into your life and that are easy to do. In the last video, I challenged you to complete 3 good things activity, which is to write down 3 good things that happened to you that day. This is a simple activity that is based on positive psychology. If you take a look at my challenge last week, I'm sure that you found it a way to be grateful for good things that happened to you that particular day. If you're searching for a better well-being by applying the GROW framework to all aspects of our lives, we can become more self-aware, become more resilient and optimistic, cultivate what's best in ourselves, and work towards personal and professional growth. I believe that with the right tools, techniques, and actions and habits, better well-being is possible. The GROW framework has helped me to do things differently, think differently, and act differently. I want to show you how to do this too. First, let me share my story and show you how I've used the GROW framework. I've been a successful entrepreneur since I was a teenager. I've been blessed with success. However, success has not made me immune to difficult and challenging life events. People might assume that having personal wealth would generate guaranteed happiness and solve all of life's problems. It is true that I was able to enjoy many things because of hard work, which led to success, but business disputes and costly lawsuits, personal health issues, and tragedy that struck my family made me realize that money can never buy what I needed to help me through these difficult periods in my life. They say things happen in threes, and this is true for me. When I was recovering from surgery back a few years ago, I was asked by my managing partner to meet with him at the office. I had asked to defer the meeting as I had not fully recovered. He said no, it's rather urgent. I made my way to the office only to find out that my services were no longer required. In essence, I was fired. Have you ever been fired or know someone who has been fired, you can understand how upsetting and unsettling this is. Just when I thought the worst was over, the managing partner presented me with a legal dispute, a lawsuit actually, despite our close working relationship for many years. This legal issue caused considerable stress and financial hardship that lasted more than 3 years. Finally, the last event has been most devastating and unimaginable. Sadly, my brother took his own life at the age of 48. He poured gasoline on himself while he was in his vehicle and lit himself on fire. We know this to be called death by suicide. I believe that my brother took his life to ease the pain. This tragic event has had a significant impact on my family and me. His death caused unimaginable grief throughout my family. How does one move on? That's the question that I asked. Healing has taken a long time, but I've never really gotten over my brother's death. I've learned that it's important to move forward even through such pain and loss. The ability to overcome personal and professional challenges and prepare myself for future challenges have required work and reflection. I have discovered that having gratitude, resilience, optimism, and willpower, the GROW framework, has enabled me to move through challenging times and prepare myself for unseen future obstacles. Applying this framework has yielded a better me and led to an increase in my well-being, as well as my personal and professional growth. I'm not alone when it comes to challenging life events. 90% of all people go through life-challenging events at least once in their life. It hasn't been easy, but what I've learned from adversity is that I'm strong, even in the face of challenges and setbacks. This is the message that I want to share. Although I've experienced significant success in my professional life, I've felt deep longing to live my true passion and bring more meaning to my life and the lives of others. I believe that this is my purpose. I want to inspire you to persevere through challenging times. I've personally been able to grow through several difficult life events, and I want to share my message of hope with you. I'd like to share a story of a personal friend of mine who's applied gratitude, resilience, optimism, and willpower to his life with remarkable results. His name is Nav. I met Nav about 15 years ago. He's better known to those that follow the NBA as the Toronto Raptors superfan. The Raptors team is a team in the NBA. Nav has never missed a home game in the 20-plus years of the Raptors' existence. So who is Nav? Nav and his wife came to Canada more than 30 years ago. Like many newcomers to Canada, they struggled in the early years. They lived in a basement apartment near the Toronto airport and worked several survival jobs. Gratitude. Nav shows his gratitude in many ways. He generously brings people to basketball games as his guest. He specifically brings people who have not have the financial means to attend the games otherwise. Nav believes that when people are in a position to help someone else, they should do so. Nav says that giving back to others has been key in adjusting as a newcomer to Canada, and doing so has brought him tremendous joy. Resilience. Nav will tell you that his first job was cleaning toilets. He believes that we should take pride in all work that we do. He's not bitter about being an engineer in his country and ending up cleaning toilets. He explains that we should be proud of all the work that we do. Nav eventually got a job selling cars at the same dealership in which he was cleaning toilets, and later became the manager of the dealership. On the day that his promotion was announced, all the staff quit. They said they did not want to work for him because he was a Sikh. Optimism. Nav's message is that we should never lose hope. Things can get better. Even during the toughest of times, you must keep going. Even if you're being treated rudely, be the better person. Nav insists that people should also break out of their comfort zones and meet people from other cultures, ethnicities, and experiences. This includes Canadians and Americans as well. Make an effort to meet someone who's different from you. Everyone benefits. Surround yourself with positive people. Negativity is deadly. Willpower. People find support. People who support your goals and dreams. In Nav's case, he did not let anything deter him. Despite all the staff quitting, he persevered. Today, Nav owns 2 Hyundai dealerships and is one of the most successful dealerships in all of Canada. I think Nav is a great example of how gratitude, resilience, optimism can be applied together as a winning combination. You might be thinking that you may not have had a challenging life event, so what I'm saying does not apply to you. Unfortunately, research suggests that 90% of the people experience a challenge in their lifetime. Maybe you know someone who has gone through a challenging time. It's important to remember that it's not about the event, but how it affects us. For instance, you may not have lost a sibling or lost your job, but you may have lost a pet, or a dear friend, or had a relationship come to an end, or fail an important exam. These are all events that affect us and may lead us to pessimistic thoughts or thinking that we can't get on. We can go on. Let me explain how I applied the GROW framework in my life after the loss of my brother. Let's start with G in the GROW framework, gratitude. Gratitude is an emotion expressing appreciation for what we have. I vividly recall thinking how grateful I was when the people from my workplace, people who didn't even know my brother, came to pay their respects. I can tell you today who those individuals were. Because of this experience of how impactful and meaningful this was, I make it a point to support those who have lost loved ones. Can we cultivate gratitude? Absolutely. Most studies in gratitude support a connection between gratitude and a person's well-being. It can be cultivated further. Next, let's take a look at R in the GROW framework, resilience. I've talked about challenges in my professional life, my job loss and lawsuit, and my ability to bounce forward or to be resilient. Although these events temporarily took away my ability to earn an income and impacted my life financially, these events did not make me waver in my belief that I could bounce forward and recover from these setbacks. Maybe you're thinking that you wouldn't be able to get through your own personal adversity. Maybe you're going through a difficult time right now, or you know someone who is. Maybe you've lost a job, didn't get a promotion, or a relationship has ended. Maybe you believe that you're not resilient, but you are. Can you develop resilience? Absolutely. New research suggests that personal resiliency is more widespread and teachable than previously thought. Everyone has the ability to be resilient. Dr. Ann Maston, an expert in the field, describes resilience as ordinary magic. Resilience isn't a rare quality found in a few extraordinary people, but resilience results from our own ordinary experiences. You know my story. I just shared Nav's story, so I want to know, what's your story? Can you relate to our stories or any one of the examples that you've heard today? My question is, do you want better well-being? Do you want to thrive? To live, to love, to live fully? Here's the reality. Stuff happens, whether it's in your own life or someone else's. We're all going to experience challenging times. It's like a fork in the road. There always will be forks in the road for all of us. But there are two ways to take a look at it. In a negative way, that all things will resolve and eventually be okay, maybe. Or we can take a look at the situation and find ways to pull ourselves up so that we don't have to, we can pull ourselves up. Don't pull ourselves down. We don't pull others around down with us. So how do we uplift ourselves? At the end of the day, we want to flourish, experience joy in all that life has to offer. I mentioned my friend who was going through breast cancer treatment. I looked at her with a sense of awe because instead of feeling sorry for herself and saying, why me? Why has life treated me so badly? She was counting her blessings. She was reflecting on all the good things in her life. She made the choice to look at things from a positive standpoint. We cannot change an event, but we can change the way we look at an event. So if you take that perspective and apply it to the fork in the road, to take the right path and say, hey, I need to bounce back from this, or how would this situation springboard us? What are the lessons learned that can be applied in the future? What have we learned about ourselves? Because through this whole thing, we want to increase our well-being, but we have to take action. We just can't have increased our well-being on our own. We just have to wake up. And we just don't wake up and things are better. There are mindsets, doable actions, and tools. We need to have conversations with people who help and inspire us, that inject positive emotion and provide the support that we need. They help us to take fuel. They help us to take our fuel tank that is on empty. Slowly, we see that tank filling up, and then it gets loaded up until it's full again. Then we're ready to go on. We have bounced back. We are inspired by these individuals, but then, in some point, people look at us as a source of inspiration. Isn't that what we're all in search of? I know that it is for me. I want to personally thank you for listening and watching this video. I trust that this video has served you and that you can take some positive life experiences and apply it to your own life. I invite you to post your comments and questions below. Until next time, be present, be great.